Hello everyone and welcome back to Lizzie in Disneyland. Today is a very strange video, but I've been watching a lot of tidying up makeover shows, Queer Eye, tidying up with Marie Kondo, and I thought I would try Marie Kondoing my plush collection. I probably won't get it done today, so this outfit will probably change, my hair will probably change, lighting will change as I do it at different parts of the day, but I'm going to try my best. I started this yesterday because I changed my bed sheets, which involved obviously taking all the plush off, and I started to think, do I really need all of these? So I'm going to try my best. Part of the method is that you have to lay everything on the bed to decide whether you want to keep it, and hold each thing one by one, which is why it's going to take so long. There's going to be a few time lapses in this video, but basically what I want to try and do is work out which plush should be on my bed, which plush I don't need anymore, things like that. And I really hope you enjoy this video. I'm just trying something different because I've been really inspired by Marie Kondo, and I just thought it would be a fun way of showing you a lot of my plush collection, as well as you did want a full plush collection video. It is just too difficult. So the main objective of this video is to maybe not get rid, but maybe move around my plush so that I see different plush and start to appreciate them more instead of hiding them away. I'm going to show you what my bedroom floor looks like right now and why I've got to film this video right now on a Friday evening, and then I'm going to get started with the organising. So this is the mess right now. As you can see, I've got to sort it out as I can't leave it like this. Okay, so all of you who've asked in the past, my double bed has an ottoman next to it which has old bed sheets that I don't really use, and then a bin tidy, and then this box goes in the corner there to sort of create the plush mountain that you guys see. I want to fill this bin tidy with like seasonal plush, like for example my Easter plushes are going to go in there today, and probably some non-Disney stuff. The only non-Disney stuff that I'm actually going to keep on display is the things that Joe bought me. So here is the plush mountain of things that came out of the bin tidy and out of there, and I'm going to follow the KonMari method to sort them out. So this is perhaps the craziest video I've done on my channel to date, but just to explain the KonMari method by Marie Kondo, but to briefly explain the KonMari method that we know from tidying up with Marie Kondo, you tidy everything at once, which unfortunately I can't really do, but my aim for tonight is to do the main bed area, and then things like the back bedroom and also above my wardrobe I will do separately. So I am sort of tidying all at once, but not really at the same time. Number 2, you visualise the end result. So I would like my plush mountain to be less messy, basically. 3, determine if each thing sparks joy, which is what I'm most excited for. 4, tidy by category, not location, which is why I'm doing my plush instead of my whole room, because then I'd be doing t-shirts, etc. Tidy in the correct order. So there is an order to do things. You're supposed to do clothes, books, papers, miscellaneous and mementos. I would say this is mementos, but this is the only thing that I have left to do. I did my clothes the week that I started watching Tidying Up with Marie Kondo on Netflix, and this is the final thing that really needs doing. 6, you have to discard things before you have a chance to place them back. This is going to be a bit difficult as my things need either selling or giving away. I'm just going to put them somewhere where I won't be tempted to just put them back on my bed. And then finally, give everything a home, which is what I'm intending to do because I have so many plush that you guys never see. So, where to begin? I've shown you what the corner of my room looks like and what I've got to work with. I feel like I should actually be over there and just shout at you guys, so I'm going to see if I can do that. So already I can see things that don't really spark joy and I could actually rehome. So the first thing I said about the little bin tidy down there was that I was going to put seasonal plush in. And when I was taking things out, I found this Mickey Mouse Christmas plush. So he is going to go in there for next Christmas. Somebody please remind me he's in there, because he needs to be in the loft with the other Christmas plush. So Mickey is the first thing that stays because all of my Mickey plushes spark joy. The next things that are going in my bin tidy are my Easter plushes. So the first one is this chick Winnie the Pooh. He brings me so much joy, but Easter is almost over, so he needs to go away until next year. So the next plush that is going in the bin tidy is this Stitch. Again, he's just an Easter plush, so he should be away for the rest of the year. The reason I have boxes and bin tidies over there is because I like to have my plush above the ground. I don't like just keeping them on the floor. I know a lot of people like that, but I'm just not a fan of plush on the floor personally, unless I absolutely have to. So the next one going in the bin tidy is my Winnie the Pooh as a sheep. He's one of my favourites, but he gets so dirty, so I'm going to keep him safe in the bin tidy. The next one to go in the bin tidy is very new, but obviously she's an Easter plush, and it is Angel. She is a 2019 Shop Disney plush. Next, these are two of my favourite plushes ever. They still smell like chocolate from when I got them all those years ago, but they need to go in there and hopefully it preserves the chocolate smell. So after putting my Easter plush away, there is still a tiny bit of room in here. So I'm thinking of just using it as a seat for like the legs of a plush. That didn't make a lot of sense, did it? I'll show you what I mean. So the angle's changed because I feel like I need to be closer to you so that you can hear me. But basically what I'm doing now is I'm trying to fill the little bit of space that's in the bin tidy after the Easter plushes have gone in. So I feel like the best plush that I could use for this purpose would be my Muppets. Now I do only have a few Muppets, and even though they're not on display, I still can't bear to part with them. And the first one is this Walter. Yes, his name's Walter. After a quick Google search, I realised I was right first time. I really loved the Muppets film, and I loved Walter's character, so I bought the plush. He doesn't see the light of day very often, but I'm so glad I've got him. So you are going to live in there. And then I also have Kermit the Frog. I think I used to have more Muppets, but Kermit is my favourite, so of course I can't bear to part with him, even though, like I said, you don't really see him in my room. This one is with regret. These are the old style fairies. So I have Flora and Merryweather, but I am missing Fauna. And these are the old style, so I didn't really want to buy the new style. I feel like I have to, so until I get them, they're going to go in the bin tidy. Because right now they don't spark joy, but I know if I could find Fauna they would spark joy again, so I am going to hold on to them. I'm going to hold on to my little Chip, as Chip is my favourite of the chipmunks and he does spark joy when I hold him. But unfortunately I don't like to display him as I don't have the matching Dale, so he is going to go in the bin tidy. And carrying on with the Sleeping Beauty theme, I really love that I have the old style Maleficent dragon, but she is really hard to display, so I think I'm just going to keep her in the bin tidy just to make a little bit of space. So as you guys can see, it's a lot fuller now, So I'm going to put this penguin that Joe bought me right there, and then I can put some plush around the bottom and around the top of his head as well. Next I'm going to tackle that princess box that I'm going to store non-Disney things that I want to keep in there. So the first thing that I want to keep is this Russ bear that I got for my graduation. He's not Disney, but he is very special to me, so I like to keep him safe, so he's going to go in that box. Then I have this really miscellaneous bear. I have no idea where he's come from. I feel like I need to do some investigating as to where I got him. He is a TY but not a Beanie Baby, as you can see, because he's quite large. But I'm going to keep him because he's so cute, and I feel like I could do a little teddy bear picnic with my Pooh Bears with him. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. So the next plush I definitely want to keep is from Universal Studios, and it's this little Popeye. I do have the Grinch in this style. He obviously stays with my Christmas plushes, but I love this Popeye and I'm so glad I picked him up. The one I regret not getting was the ET version. On the subject of ET, the ET that I have, honestly, he's just so bulky, and when I hold him he doesn't really spark joy, which is what this is about. So I'm actually going to see if I can rehome him with my dad. Fingers crossed that I can, because I would feel really bad getting rid of him, but he just doesn't fit into my collection anymore, unfortunately. But I love this little pose that he's doing. It's very influencer. I feel like this one can't go in the box, but it really should because it's not Disney. But this is the unicorn from the Minions. I bought it on my trip to Universal Studios in 2015, and honestly, from the Minions, this unicorn is my favourite character. When I couldn't sleep sometimes, I would drag this out from the plush mountain and sleep with it, but now obviously I have my cuddly Stitch, so I don't really need to do that anymore. So I'm going to see if she fits in there, but I doubt it. I know he's Disney, and I know I said I only put non-Disney in there, but I'm going to put this red-nosed eye Mickey in there just to keep him safe, because he's very small and he's got lost a few times. So I'm going to put him in there so he's safe. I feel like I'm making like zero progress in this video, but one that I definitely want to get rid of, because even looking at him he doesn't spark joy, yet alone holding him, is this Hulk plush. He is a Posh Paws, which really breaks my heart because I love Posh Paws plush, but the Hulk is probably my least favourite Avenger, so I'm hoping I can rehome this in my dad's Avengers plush collection, because I don't own any Avengers plush apart from Tsum Tsums now. So hopefully he can go with my dad, because he does have the Posh Paws Iron Man. Another one that sadly doesn't spark joy for me is this Minion. Apart from the unicorn, I really feel like I've outgrown the Minions franchise. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would still go and see a new film, but I think merchandise, and especially plush-wise, it just doesn't do the same for me as it used to. And the same goes for the Evil Minion plush. It's sad because I remember how mad I went for these plushes, but looking at them now, they just don't fit into my Disney collection, so sadly I'm going to have to say goodbye to them. So the final plush I think I'm going to put in that box is this medium-sized Beanie Baby Husky puppy. I really love Huskies, and I love these TYs with the big eyes, so I am going to hold on to this one. This box is quite full, so what I'm going to do is close it and put some of my bigger plushes around it and on top of it. So what I'm going to put in front of it is this Husky that Joe won me on our first trip to Drayton Manor. He's just going to sit there for me. And then this massive Morrison's teddy that Joe got me one Christmas is going to go on the top to stop the lid from popping off. Then just along the side here, I'm going to put this sheet pillow that Joe got me from Aberystwyth. That's basically so that the box wouldn't cut into me if I slept on this side of the bed, because I like this all to be quite cushiony, and this also acts as a barrier so that the plush don't fall over, I hope. Next, I've got my large Dopey plush. I've had him for such a long time and I love him so much. I couldn't part with him and I feel like he needs to take centre stage a little bit more. So I feel like I'm not going to put him down there. I'm not entirely sure where he's going to live, maybe at the end of my bed, but I just love him too much to leave him down there. Another plush I absolutely adore is this baby Dumbo. I'm tempted to put this between the pillows where my sloth usually lives, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to see if it would fit. I quite like how he looks there actually, which means I need to rehome my sloth. I got this from Thorpe Park last year and maybe we will win the pink one at Thorpe Park this year as we have the purple and the blue sloths. The blue sloth, if you're wondering, lives at Joe's house. But what I'm going to do is just snake his arm around the penguin, snake his other arm around the dog, to first of all keep him upright but also hold some of the other plush in when I start to fill them in. So until I get a better Baymax plush, I am going to keep this one. He doesn't spark an awful amount of joy because I just feel like he could be so much better. I do wish I'd got the Baymax Cuddlies and I haven't seen it since it sold out. But if I see the Baymax Cuddlies, I might have to rehome this one. But he is stamped, so I probably should keep him. He's going in the corner. So I have a few Adventure Time plushes and I don't watch Adventure Time at all anymore. So I feel like these don't spark joy to me anymore because they don't relate to any of my current interests. So I'm going to I don't like saying get rid of, but I'm going to rehome Finn, Jake the dog, Lumpy Space Princess, and Marceline the Vampire Queen, who was my favourite if you're interested. So a lot of the plush that are on my bed right now were ones that went on the top of all my plush. So what I need to do is do a little time lapse for you guys of me putting back some of the ones I know I want to keep. There's only a few that I know for sure that I want to get rid of, so some of them I'm just moving around to try and find a better place for them. So everything that's on my bed now is everything I'm going to work on today. Hopefully over the weekend I can get back to this, so you will see me dressed differently. But basically I just want to blitz through this so that I can at least go to sleep comfortable tonight, and then I'll work through some more of it when I can. So this is going to be a very quick yes and no sort of, does it spark joy to me sort of thing, and then I'll put them over there. Yes, this one is a big yes. I feel like I should let my dad have him, but I just love him so much I can't part with him even in the same house. So yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yes and yes. Yes. This one still smells of Wonder, which is very similar to the spray they use in the Disneyland Hotel. So I love this plush. It's probably one of my all-time favourites. I didn't look through this one when I was doing my non-Disney, but this is Crookshanks from the Warner Brothers Studio Tour. I am going to part with this one as I don't know why I bought it. I actually really don't like cats, so I'm going to say goodbye to this furry little friend. Yes and yes. Yes. Yes, I love these little guys so much. Yes. Here is where I hit a real bump in the road because I really love these plushes, but they take up a lot of space. So I feel like I'm going to leave these for a later part of the video to decide whether I'm going to keep them or not. Yes and yes. Yes, but because my mum loves Mary Poppins, I think I might keep her in my mum's room. And same goes for this one. And the penguin waiter. I'm really torn with this one because I've just been gifted the beautiful new Genie plush from Posh Paws, which matches the Aladdin and Jasmine. So I think he's going to go in the maybe pile, but I can remember how badly I wanted him, so I feel really terrible parting with him. Yes, definitely. I mean, he's really, really damaged, but I just love him so much, I can't part with him. Yes, and yes. Yes. I feel like this is one I could probably gift to my dad, as I do have this little Olaf for myself. But also on the Frozen theme, this one, yes. And I can see exactly where he's going to go. And yes. I feel like my two Autumn Terrace teddies need somewhere better to live, so I'm going to put them with my Jellycat collection. And I've also got a Cadbury World teddy bear. Yes. 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 Yes and yes, for now at least. I feel like I shouldn't have two Moanas, but I have like 16 Puas, so yes. What's going on with their hair? Yes. 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 But only because it's from Pinocchio. I still don't like cats. I have a Jiminy Cricket somewhere. Can't finish off for the night until I found Jiminy Cricket. So I found him, and of course I'm keeping him because I've just spent the last 5 minutes looking for him. Yes. This one's a very strong maybe because I really don't like the way she feels, but she goes with the next two plush that I'm keeping, so she's a yes for now. Which is Oliver, of course, yes. And Dodger. Yes. You may have noticed me put a Pegasus behind me as well. I just love Pegasus, so I'm keeping those. Yes. Yes. Yes and yes. Yes. Of course. Yes. 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 Never have too many Boo plushes. This one is actually my dad's, but I think I am going to stop for tonight as it is getting quite late and I didn't sleep very well last night, so I would like to go to sleep. But I promise I will finish the rest. For my bed, I still have 5 bags of plush and a bin tidy that were all plush for my bed, so I have got to find room for them at some point. So this is where I got to on day 1, and I still have so much more to sort through. So it's day 2 of me trying to Marie Kondo my plush, or basically just reorganise my plush, sort out what I want to keep. So I've just been to Primark today. I'm going to try out these new hair bubbles and tie my hair up and just try and sort out my plush. I'm not going to get it all done today, but I'm going to do a little time lapse of me putting my definites out now. Okay guys, so I think it's been a week since I decided I'd start this, and I do have a little bag of plush there that I am going to get rid of, but today's aim is to work on the wardrobe up there. I would like to have my special Mickeys up there, so I'm going to sort that out today. So I'm just going to lay it all on the bed and then talk you through what I'm doing with it. Okay, so I've gotten everything that was on the top of my wardrobe. and there's not a lot, but there isn't a lot I can work with. And what I mean by that is there are a few things that have got to go back up there, and then I don't know where the rest is going to go. So I'm going to start with the obvious ones. The Sums are going to go back up there. This one is Wally from the Disney store. I love the detail on him. So I've got Olaf as well. And I've got the Toy Story alien. So those three are going to go up there. My Wally and Eve are going to live down here now. I don't know why I put them up there, because they're little, they can fit down here. So I'll put those here. London Minnie, she is from 2012, I think. She's the old style. She's stamped, and the new style she wears purple. But she will match my two new Mickeys. And I'm going to try and pop them up there. I'm going to do a little time lapse to see whether that works. Now, the whole reason I started this Marie Kondo sort out my plush collection was because there were 4 plushes that I wanted to gift to my dad. And they are the Build-A-Bear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He did buy them me, so he can have them. That's fine. It's just they take up a lot of room on top of that wardrobe, and I was thinking that the space could be better used, so hopefully I'll be able to sort that out now. The only plush I'm going to struggle to rehome are my Monsters Inc. Monsters University ones. So I've got the Abominable Snowman. He's one of my absolute favourite plush ever, so I'm not going to part with this guy. I just don't know where to put him. I'll have to find somewhere down here, I think. And then I've got Mike, and honestly if I could find a smaller Mike I would probably buy him and sell this one, as I would prefer to have smaller plushes of these. And then I have Raz. I think this little guy's name is Archie or something. I haven't watched Monsters University now. I have Randall and Celia. I did get rid of a few from Monsters University and also Mr. Waternoose, and I don't really regret it, because although I love the film, I love Sully more, and I would rather have more Sullys than have all the plush. And like I said, if they were smaller it would be easier to display them. So what I'm going to try and do now is sort out the wardrobe, because if they don't all fit up there, I need to think of something else. Okay, so I realised there was quite a few things that I didn't show you while I was doing this. I didn't show you my Jellycats because they are not moving. I didn't show you my Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs plushes because I'm keeping them. They spark so much joy having them all together, and I think even parting with one of them would upset me. I haven't shown you my Mickey Memories because obviously I'm not parting with them and I'm happy with where they are for the moment. I haven't shown you my Winnie the Pooh plush because they live in the other room where I film my TBR videos. But basically there is a few more things I need to go through. When I was looking in the other room, I found this Pocahontas plush that I got from California, and I love her so much more than I love this one. So I've made the decision that I'm going to part with this one. Just need to take her tag off and she can live with Mika. I also have a Spot from The Good Dinosaur which I am going to keep. So there's one more box I need to work through. This is all of my toddler plushes, and some of them I still want and some of them I don't. So let's put them all on the bed. So this one is not from the Disney store. My dad won her for me in a claw machine, so I am going to keep this one. Just see a load of feet. I'm going to keep Pocahontas, and I much prefer this to the plush that I am rehoming. I'm going to rehome this Jasmine plush as I have got a new one which I'm not sure whether you've seen yet, but I don't need two Jasmine. Merida I'm going to keep because I love her outfit. Ariel I am going to keep. The problem is with these plush that they take up a lot of space, but I don't feel like I can part with any of them because they are so cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them back where I usually display them in the other room, and I'll come back to them at another time because they do still spark joy. The only one I'm going to keep in this room is Ariel, because you'll see in a minute I've got an idea. So there's Sleeping Beauty, Tinkerbell, Anna, Elsa. Snow White I am going to part with because I do have the bigger one, and honestly it doesn't make sense to have a Snow White that is the same size as my dwarves, and I'm going to keep Belle as well. So the box does look better than when I started, I just didn't get rid of as many as I thought I would. So the reason I'm keeping this Ariel is because I'm going to part with this Ariel, but I'm going to keep Sebastian and Flounder, and they can stay together. One of the things I've been forgetting to do when I unhaul these is to say thank you, because part of the Marie Kondo method is you're meant to thank them for what they did for you, what they meant to you, so that you're not just throwing them away. So thank you, Ariel. I've also decided I'm going to keep Merida as well. I'm still really on the fence about this Oswald plush. As you've seen, I do have an Oswald plush. So he has been in a little unhaul pile for a while, but I think I'm just going to keep him at the end of my bed until I decide what I'm going to do. Okay, so just to finish off this Marie Kondo My Plush Collection video, I thought I'd end with a Disney Plush unhaul. These plush are really old now, I've had them for a few years, and some you haven't seen in this video because I've had them set aside for a while, because what I do when I'm unsure is I keep them for a little bit longer out of sight, and then I get them back and I think, did I miss them? And I decide whether or not I'm going to keep them from then. I love all of these plush, but there are good reasons for me unhauling them, and I'm going to make sure that they find a really good home. So as you've just seen, I have two other Pocahontas plushes, so I am going to rehome this one. I absolutely love Pocahontas, but I just feel like I can't have three Pocahontas plushes. The thanking feels weird, but I do understand why. It's very therapeutic to say goodbye to something properly. So thank you, Pocahontas. Again, Snow White. I don't need two Snow White plushes, and since the other one I have is actually the right size in relation to the dwarves, I feel like I can't keep one that is the same size as the dwarves. So thank you, Snow. Jasmine, again, I have a new Jasmine plush which I love, so thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for everything, but I don't need two Ariel plushes, so hopefully someone will take her off my hands. This Eeyore is a little bit damaged, so he needs a little bit of loving care that I unfortunately just can't give to him. He is very old, as you can see. Unfortunately, I can't find an actual date for this one, but I really do love him, but I have so many Christmas plushes, so goodbye, Eeyore. Next, Sven. Again, Sven has been in a bag for a while because I have the baby Sven that you saw. So unfortunately, I'm going to say goodbye to this one. He's just a bit too bulky. I have kept baby Sven because I love baby Sven, so thank you, Sven. You go in the bag. Same for Elsa. This is the Frozen Fever Elsa. I gave the Frozen Fever Anna to my friend Connie, but I haven't managed to find a home for Elsa yet, so hopefully someone will give her a good home. The Mad Hatter has actually been in my unhaul pile for a while, but looking at him now I really can't part with him, so he's actually going to go back in the collection. And then these two hopefully will go as a set. They are my stamped Lady and the Tramp. If you saw, I do have a smaller Lady and the Tramp that are connected by spaghetti, so I'm going to find a loving home for these guys. And finally, because I do have three other Dumbos in my collection, I am going to find a new home for my stamped Dumbo. I much prefer the one I've just bought for the new Dumbo film, and I especially love my Posh Paws Dumbo that I was gifted. So thank you Dumbo for everything, the softest hugs, but I do have two very similar Dumbos, so I just can't keep this one. I'm sorry buddy. So yeah, that was my Disney Plush Unhaul. I hope you enjoyed it. I realised that this video is the longest video I've ever done on my channel, so if you've made it to the end, you deserve a round of applause. Let me know in the comments if you made it this far. I wasn't even sure I'd make it this far when I was editing, but I've wanted to do this video for a while, and for me personally, I'm happy with how it turned out. I did what I set out to do. My wardrobe looks a lot better. I wake up every morning smiling at it, and I'm so much happier with how my plush mountain looks on my bed as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!